What happened? Mefutzat. Wait, the issues with the coffee? No. That'd be terrible. And you guys, who knows what time we're starting tomorrow? Who knows? 2:30. Who's going to be here for mincha? Because if there won't be a mincha, I'll try to be here. So we have a Baruch Ata Hashem Elokeinu melech haolam hamoitzi lechem min haaretz schnitzel. Okay, we have. Okay, very good. Yeah, okay, very good. All right, so the mincha is at 2:15, and 2:30 is the share. So, and that's tomorrow, even though we're lighting after. It gets confusing, yeah? All right? Okay, so some people thought yesterday was Hanukkah, right? Yeah, okay. You didn't think okay, yeah. Okay, but so let me gain over here. You know, and I have to chazer. You guys made it up. I have to chazer. No, you know it? You made it up or no? Okay, I won't say who I'm talking to, but you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, okay. Okay, so let's make a quick sikum over here. And I was told yesterday at Diak by, once already, it's already two Eidim. It was Rabbi Lieberman and Rabbi Weiss. So now I see there's the Diak already. The Diak is a Diak. And not only is the Diak a Diak, maybe I'll be masking to the Diak and then it'll be a Beis Din, no? I'll sit in the middle because I'm older than you guys. So I'll be the Rosh Beis Din, I'll sit in the middle. There's a Diak over. Let's see a quick sikum, mamish a quick sikum, what we saw yesterday. And then let's go to the next big sugya over here of Shemi Yitaka. Just the basic idea over here is to try to figure out what's the chilek between Siv Vav and Siv Ches. That we see that when it comes to Siv Vav, we know that there's a sugya of Shivrei Kalim. When things are broken, so then it's all types of rules. If it's usable, if you put it in the garbage beforehand, if you didn't put it in the garbage beforehand. But generally, like today, things that are broken, we throw out, and they're aimed to throw out. So by us, they're all considered muksa. That's what Ramosha told us. So we saw the exceptions, etc. Then we saw in Siv Ches, mamish not like that. In Siv Ches, it talks about tzalas kalim, all types of doors, of broken off doors that have broken off of their closets and whatnot. And we seem to say that it's not muksa as long as it's a kli, it's not muksa. The site being agav avim, what's the chilik? What's the chilik over there? We'll see in a moment. It seems like even if the door is not usable. So the basic chilik that we saw is the ikar kli kayim. That's the ikar side. Is the ikar kli kayim? When we had the case of the night table, the ikar kli is kayim. So the door is considered batul to the ikar kli, and therefore, even though the door is maybe even unusable, but it doesn't matter. We look at it as a part of the original kli, and therefore it's not muksa. And even if it happened before Shabbos, that was the side of Siv Ches. Siv Zayin, Siv Vav, there was talking about cases where the ikar kli is not kaim. Now we have to talk about today cases. What's considered the ikar kli is kaim? What's not? If the ikar kli is not kaim, like a simple case, a china plate is broken in half, so then it's true you might put it back together, but she's muksa. She's muktzah because the ikar kli is not kaim. That was the ikar side. Yesterday we saw a different rate. I'll say a quick sikum in a little bit of a different order right now. Yesterday we saw, does it number one need to be roy l'shimush? Now again, listen closely. Like I always say, when I make a chazara, it's not always a chazara. Sometimes they add new faces and new friends and new chaverim, but it's a lot of the raid yesterday, but just said in a little bit of a different way. And I have to do that to make it exciting. Otherwise, it won't be so exciting. So, does it need to be roy l'shimush? That extra, and in the meantime, I'm going to talk about the door handle or the button or any of the cases we spoke about yesterday. In Mitzvah Shem today, we're going to have new cases when we compare it to the next Siv Tezayin, that's the next piece in the puzzle. But yesterday, we discussed, does it need to be roy l'shimush? This door that fell off, this button that fell off, does it need to be roy l'shimush? Obviously, the nafkamin is a button. It's not roy l'shimush. And if you're not going to say a button is something that you can put on a bottle cap, like we saw in the Graz. The fact that I could put it on the bottle cap, says the Balatanya, that doesn't make a difference. Nobody does. It's not enough that he knows how to learn. Same thing with the button. A button that you actually do, some people do, then we could talk. So does it need to be roy l'shimush? The Taisis read. And the Ritva, these are Rishonim I did not mention yesterday, say first it does not need to be roy l'shimush. It's already Rishonim. It's a little bit more aggressive than we said yesterday. So therefore the button, we still have a chance. Maybe if the shirt is kayim, could you still use the button? Could you still move around the button? Could you pick up the button off the ground? The fact that it's not roy for any shimush, it's written in the Ritva, say it's not a problem. This is the psak of the Prima Godim. This is the psak of the Mishnah Berurah and Sivkot and Lamed Hey. The Aruch HaShulchan does argue. Aruch HaShulchan is in Sivkot and Chav Hey. And he says it has to be that it's usable. It has to be usable. That's why the door, he says, is usable. You can the lid is usable. You can put it on top of the night table. It's usable. Ramosha Zechrein Levracha in a Balpet Shuva said you should be chayshish for the Aruch HaShulchan. There's no shaila. The ikra psak about it's like the Mishabura, like the Mishayim. There's a chumrah. It's a chumrah. It gets onto the list of chumras if you want to know. If the button's unimportant, it definitely gets onto the list of chumras. But the din, of course, is like the Mishabura. And therefore, the psak halach is if it's not usable, as long as it's agav aviyam, the av is still kayim, so then it's not considered muksa. We'll see enough kaminas, but thus it does. Rav Shlomo Zalman is a stira. That's why I don't know what I said yesterday from Rav Shlomo Zalman, but Rav Shlomo Zalman I said yesterday was machmir. So now Rav Shlomo Zalman's a stira because Rav Shlomo Zalman I said yesterday, I guess in the Shulchan Shlomo in Ois Kav Ches. Is that what I said? Okay, so that was the mistake. In the Shulchan, that was my mistake. In the Shulchan Shlomo, in the Sivkotim Kav Ches, they bring down Rav Shlomo Zalman said it's mutter. Rav Shlomo Zalman said it's mutter, like the Prima Godim, like the Mishnah Berurah, like the Taisis Red, like the Ritva, like the Psak Halacha. The Shmir Shabbos brings down in Tezvav, Perak Tezvav, Reish Lamed, he brings like a shaila from Rav Shlomo Zalman, and Rav Shlomo Zalman seems to be noited there, it's muksa. He's noited there, it's muksa. So you have a stira in Rav Shlomo Zalman, and you have a pshitis in the Mishnah Berurah. So the Psak Halacha is, if it's not Roy, we're still in business. So far, I bought in that fell off, Bain before Shabbos, Bain on Shabbos. There's muckim to be makel to pick her up, because even though she's not usable, but she's still connected to the Ikar Shem Kli. That's number one. Now, the Maisa, okay, that's number one. Number two is I said yesterday that the Shevet HaLevi wants to say anyways that maybe it's usable, because you could do that weird thing that you could put in your shirt. That's already, to each their own. That's enough. I don't know. Okay. Now, we saw yesterday the Kseisa Shulchan. Now, a new batin is clearly muksa. A new batin is taka muksa. But we saw yesterday that the Kseisa Shulchan, he said a very nice thing. I don't know if I mentioned where it is. It's in Kuftes Siv Ches. Today you're getting the names and faces and places. If they're the Kseisa Shulchan in Kuftes Siv Ches, Kseisa Shulchan brings down that a batin depends. Is it on its way back? Is it something that's going back? You can only say agav aviyam if she's going back to her father. If she's not going back to her father, and you're going to put on a totally different button, so how could you say it's agav aviyam? The whole shame kli is based on the fact that it's going back. But if it's not going back, how could you say it's agav aviyam? That was what the Kseisa Shulchan said. So yesterday there was this ayah over here. I said, I myself once said this diak. So you see, like right? So you see over here, there's a very nice diak over here in the Mishnah Berurah. Mishnah Berurah in Siman Shin Ches, he brings down and Sif Kotin Lamed Our Sif. He says, what's the reason why she's a kli? This button loch, this door that fell off. Why is she a kli? Says the Mishnah Berurah. How would you write if you were writing Mishnah Berurah? I would write Mishum Mishum dakati kliyu. It's still a kli. Why? She'oimid l'schaber l'kli. She'oimid l'schaber l'kli. That's mamish the words in the Kseisa Shulchan, because it's oimid l'schaber l'kli. It's on its way back to the kli. Right? That's what I would write. No, I mean, actually, what would you write? You would write like that. It's oimid l'schaber. Mishabur doesn't say that. He says roi l'schaber makeli. Roi l'schaber makeli. Mishabur, every drop of ink in the Mishabur is so precious, right? All these drops of ink. What did the Mishabur just say? Sounds not like the Kseisa Shulchan. It sounds like the etzim fact that you were once a part of the kli, and you're still roi to put back onto the kli. Now, I admit that that's not really the ikr what the Mishabur is coming to explain. He's coming to explain why. Sorry. He's coming to explain why we don't consider this to be a broken kli. And he's saying, what do you mean? It's not a broken kli. But the Mishabur could have got his point across with the other words also. He would have gotten both. He would have killed two birds with one stone, right? He could have got his point across. If he would have said it's oimid l'schaber, he would have told me, number one, therefore, lafuke, that it's not called broken. And number two, I would have learned like the Kseisa Shulchan. It is a diak. Is it 100% muchach? It's not 100% muchach. I admit it's not 100% muchach, but it's nonetheless, it's a diak. What? Again, he could have, you're right. All these things you're saying is right. But if he would have said the words oimid l'schaber, he would have got the same point across. And he wouldn't have been mad to me to make this mistake. So I'm noited to diak. If it's a diak, the world has just changed, Rabbi. If it's a diak, the world has just changed. That means that this button, even if, let's say, you don't know if you're returning this button, ganz talking that it still won't be muksa. No? Rabbi Weiss, what do you say? You like the diak? What you say, you like the diak? It's a diak. It's a diak. Again, not every diak is. Sometimes when you were in yeshiva, so every diak was like the basis of every world war, and the holy site of the Machlekes Rashi Taisvis and everything in the world. So a little diak, little small diak. We believe in diakim. Okay, but to diak, are you going to matter an aguna based on the diak? So here, this is it's a diak. It's a good diak. It's a good diak, and it's roy on shulchan malachim. We'll leave it. It's enough so that there's a mock maybe still to be made, which in the cases that we'll talk about in a moment, it's a diak. It's a diak. Oh, why is that?
Not necessarily putting it back on. You're not carrying a lot of dark on it. To get around this roy. It's only roy, but it's not being counted.
No, so the truth is it'll depend on what you're actually doing. If you plan on actually, the emes is like this. The emes is I'm a little bit. Rabbi Kallus came to me yesterday and said to me, "Why can't we just say that if the button fell on the floor and he's picking up the button, he's doing what normal human beings do? Assuming it's not muksa. I'm saying if we'll establish it's not muksa. So why can't you just say he's doing what normal people do? He's picking up the button, and that's not amtzatz chafetzim, right? The truth is, as I thought about it throughout the shiur, I am noted that I was a bit too aggressive. And that the real Amtzas Chayfetz case is that funny case where I'm running around trying to get that button. That's the real Amtzas Chayfetz case. When mamish I'm looking, did anybody see where the button went and whatever? I'm nervous about the button and whatever. So then maybe there's a bit more of Amtzas Chayfetz. And even there you could maybe you could say the etzem zach that I'm just saving and protecting my goods. Maybe protection of goods, protection of items is not considered a Hamtzah of the Chayfetz. It's saving the Chayfetz. I don't know. This is something that I'm not as bothered as yesterday. A little bit, but okay. Anyways, the Taisus Rid, the next shaila we spoke about, the Taisus Rid said that if you need an uman to fix the item, then the item is called broken. If you need an uman to fix the item, then the item's broken, which means so now we could okay, that's the door just goes right back on. You don't need an uman or whatever. What about a button? So we said yesterday, a button is something that it's true in Hilchos Chol Hamoed, that's considered an uman. But what's the lumdus of the Taisus Rid? Pashas, the lumdus of the Taisus Rid is that it's not broken, because I got to go all the way to an uman to fix it. The truth is the fact that you in Chol Hamoed might not be allowed to do it because it's a Maisa uman, but that doesn't show that it's a big Maisa. That doesn't show that it's like something major, that the Shem Kli is destroyed. And again, there would be a makom to taka be mekel. There'd be a makom to be mekel, and that's the next shaila. The next shaila after this, I mentioned names and faces. I mentioned the Tila David. He said maybe the only time we're mekel is if it's just like nisparku. The hit parek means something that just was dismantled. Like that svaras that we spoke about when we learned Makav Patish, just reassembly. But who says when it's not just reassembly, we say I need these svaras? The Tila David is Musupik. Rav Nebenzahl, he says the same idea in his Mishnah Berurah, on our Mishnah Berurah, Shin Ches Yivkot Lamed Hey. He wants to say it's only maybe when it's, a shaila of dismantling. This is a hard diak because, it's hard to know. Mishnah Berurah over here, he's talking about this case. And so it's hard to offer an opinion about this. It is hard, You don't know if he would apply this to other cases. Obviously, the nafkamina will be a button. A button is not just reassembly. A button is you have to actually do something. And these are all difficult. You see, it's a very schwer sugya. Very schwer sugya. What? You see that? You see, L'chaira says, Rabbi Lieberman from the Taisus Rid not like this. Because the only problem the Taisus Rid had is that you need an uman. In Meduya clear that it's not the issue of dismantle or not dismantle. It's mashma that if you would have to reassemble without an uman, but it wouldn't be reassembly, it would be mamish putting it back together again, So then the Taisus Rid would be okay. The only time the Taisus Rid had a problem is because you have to get an uman involved. According to Rav Nebenzahl in this diak from the Tila David, this idea of the Tila David, they're saying it's anytime there's anything more aggressive than reassembly, actual doing malachas and dachin and whatever, things like that. It doesn't sound like that, says Rabbi Lieberman in Taisus Rid. So you realize one thing, there's harbe mokim to be mekel, and I'd say there's makom to be machmir. When you put all of, you have 5 shilas over here that you have to get through in order to pick up this button. You have so many shilas. You have to get involved and decide if it's an uman. You have to get involved if it has a shemesh. You have to get involved, is it going back? You have to get involved, is it something that is just a reassembly? You have to get involved in a lot of rate over here in order to matter this button. maybe even my shayla mincha chavtcha. So I'd say it's a benzuch nisht, lozos alain. If it doesn't bother you so much, leave it. Leave the kneppel. Leave it. But for sure, if it's in your hand, the stonish v'saret and zicher, you can put it down. Like we said, if you took it, you pop the button like this, you're putting it all of a sudden it's in your hand. Zicher, you could be mekel. Either biyada, you could zicher be mekel. And if it's a hefsid or something like that, or whatever the case is, he's got a button and it's a, it's a hefsid or something. He's makim to be mekel. That's Adkan, the shir from yesterday. Adkan. Now, I'm gonna. Now, in order for me to go weiter, I have to go to the next sugya. I have to go to the sugya of Sifta Zayin, and then in the end, we'll dan every case. What's considered a broken case? What's the din? In order for me to dan, what's the din of a broom that fell apart on Shabbos, and what's the din of a watch that stopped on Shabbos, and what's the din of glasses that the leg came off? This thing I think is called the temple, right? I say right? The temple, right? The temple. The Shiva is the leg, but the temple. Sorry. What? Yeah. So the glass that came out, that popped out, the nail that came out, the arm, the armchair that has that, the arms on the arm, right? The back of the armchair, the seat of the. In order for me to don this, I won't be able to do it. I was going to go in today and start talking about the cases of watches and things like that, but it's not right. You have to first know Sifta Zayin. That's the final piece in the puzzle, and then I can put together Sivav, Sif Ches, and Sif Tezayin and try and figure out the baby carriage that the wheel fell off. Then I can figure out where it applies. Because we know now Sivav, we know when something is broken and the father is not around. We know Sif Ches, when something is broken, but it's not really broken because the father is around. That's the second type of case. And now there's a third case, which really throws a monkey wrench. That's Sif Tezayin. It's the middle of Sif Tezayin. Let's learn this. And then Bez Hashem, we'll try to go into the cases. Sif Tezayin, in the middle of Tezayin, we're starting from the middle. Bez Hashem. We'll go back to the other stuff after. Shulchan Aruch brings a Gemara. It's a Gemara Take. Where's the Gemara? It's Gemara in Shabbos. Where's the Gemara in Shabbos? Who knows? Kuf Lamed Ches. What? Kuf Lamed Ches. The Gemara says, Kira shenishmata echas miyarcheseh. You have this, like a stove or whatever, that the leg broke off. The leg broke off, and there it is, it's legless. Asur l'taltala. The leg broke off. It's asur l'taltala. Why is it asur l'taltala? I mean, maybe it's a klishim machal yisr or something. The oven's a kishrak desert, it's matal tzarkuf makayma. But what's this? Asal taltala. What's this all about? What is this? It's unbelievable. The Shulchan Aruch has like a lot of faith in us. He doesn't tell us what's this thing, whatever. So he says like this. So Mishabura helps us, Baruch Hashem. He says vatam. Now, by say, this is hard for us to understand. Let's try to understand this. This is a broken kli. It's a oven or something. I don't know. And the Rama brings another case, which is a little bit more, I guess, practical. You have a long bench. Shenishmat echas miraglev. One of his legs got broken off. You have a table that the leg got broken off. Kol shekein shtayim. Kavachayim, if two legs broke off. Aser l'taltala ulaniach asatzacha. What do you want to do when the table broke? You have the leg broke off. So you want to take over there. You put a chair and you put it on the table on the chair. And now, great. Now that'll be the fourth leg, right? So that's a normal thing to do. No, you're not allowed to move around this table. It's also to move around this table, even if it happened on Erev Shabbos. What's even? Isn't that worse? Unless you one time used this table already on Erev Shabbos in a broken fashion, whatever this means. Now, what is this? What is this? What's going on here? We know the rules are broken kalim. They have their rules. I don't know. Let's see. Is the Iker Kli Kayim will dan? Is it not the Iker Kli Kayim? Like we should dan based on that. What's So listen to the Mishnah Berurah. He tells you pshat in the Gemara. The Gemara says vatam tegazrinan shema yitzka aregel lashon bechayzik lechabra v'chay b'shemakav hadash mishim boin. Oh, that's a pshat. Aonu gzeira. Chazal regoizer that if you have something broken that is annoying to use. You have something broken and it's annoying to use. So then they're afraid that you're not going to, a new gzeira, we're not in muksa anymore, you're not in ilchus muksa. They made a gzeira that if you have something which is annoying to use because it broke, and now you're going to come to fix it, so they made a gzeira. You're a bunch of gzeira, like all of the other Shabbos gzeiras that you're going to come to fix something. So I said, don't touch it. Right? This is a muksa machmas isser. Everybody's asking me, what's the difference between klish malachta isser and what the place can call muksa machmas isser? So this is your first education into muksa machmas isser. Muksa machmas isser means that it's muksa because Chazal made a gzeira. So this is not mutter l'tzarek gufa makayim. Chazal said that thing is off limits. Because if we let you start moving that thing around, you're going to come to fix her. So therefore, she's off limits, muksa, machmas, isser, nukzera. Sorry? Excuse me? So what's the shayla? How could you fix a key? You're mamish a locksmith. No, it's a whole. That's not the normal way of fixing a key. I mean, it's Megala. We'll see. Let's see. The truth is, what's the difference between this and everything we spoke about in the last week? Right. Okay. So the shayla is, what's the difference between this and let's say what we spoke about yesterday? Let's go in order. What's the difference between Tez Zayin and Sif Ches? Then what's the difference between Tez Zayin and Sif Vav? What's going on here? What's going on? So the basic idea that the Paiskim say over here, the basic idea, the basic idea that the am I on? Yeah, I'm on. The basic idea that the Paiskim say over here, I'm not on. Very weak? Okay, so then maybe it's a battery thing. Oh yeah, the battery thing. Right. Well, the basic idea. Oh. Okay. Didn't blow up. Okay. Hello? Oh no. After all that, and it didn't work? What? No. Yeah, no, but it's still not. I have other batteries in. I just don't know which ones were. Okay. Yeah, you know, I'll give you this. Just play with it until the batteries work, and then I'll continue the share. Here. What? These are the old ones. These are the old ones, but take these, play with those. Okay, here you go. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, there's what was I saying? What's the difference between Sif Tes Zayin and Sif Ches? What's the difference between Sif Tes Zayin and Sif Ches? So there, that's it. Perfect. Let's see. Hello? Hello? No. No, it's not. No, it's not. It is? You're just saying that to make me feel good or no? Okay. Thanks, you made me feel good. So, what's the difference between Sif What's the difference between Sif Tes Zayin and Sif Ches? What's the difference? So this is a very seistic shayla, and the basic idea is that in Sif Tes Zayin is talking. This is how the place can go. The Achrayim will go like this. The basic idea is in Sif Tes Zayin is dealing with something like I described, something that is usable b'shas atchak. It's annoying to use. So it's usable b'shas atchak. If I have no choice, I'll use it. It's usable b'shas atchak. Yeah, I'll give you an example, usable b'shas atchak. Okay, a table, I think that's a good example, right? A table with 3 legs, it's usable b'shas atchak. You could figure out a way, like we see. You could take it and put it onto a chair. You could figure out, right? Give me another example right away. What's usable? Like it's a baby carriage with 3 wheels. You could do it. I saw it. Anyway, remember the days we were in Meir Shudim, in the olden days, right? Kallus, it was in the last, some of the new guys. And Mamish used to see the most interesting things there. And every day when I would come to the Kallus, when I'd park over there, every day there was somebody who would walk right. We had it was like a wheelbarrow, but he had like a baby in it. Like a baby. And I'm telling you, every day. Right? Unbelievable. What? They used to what? Yeah, no, I'm saying that there was a baby in there, even like a little guy. Right? A little guy. Right? Anyways, no, mamish, it's usable. One thing is zikr, it's usable, right? I'm not saying that you have to do this. But so what's the difference between Sif Tes Zayin and Sif Ches? Is that a baby carriage and the table is usable b'shas atchak, but it's annoying. It's annoying. It was definitely annoying. Just watching it was annoying. But so oibazai, b'kai governor that something is annoying, Chazal made a gzeira that you're going to come to fix it. Everybody say, When is there the gzeira that I'm going to come to fix it? When it's usable, but it's extremely annoying, then I'll come to fix it. Mashenkin Sivches was totally usable. What were the cases we spoke about yesterday? The shirt. Okay? The shirt, the chat was totally usable shirt. It's missing a button. No, it's annoying. It's annoying. It's annoying, but it's annoying. It's not gefährlich at all, right? But then you have something, so a shirt that we spoke about yesterday, maybe the button pops off. So maybe you could still say, forgetting all the svaras we spoke about, but it's still agav aviyim, it still is a shame of a kli. Mashain came when you have a case of a table that's missing a leg, so that's annoying, and so is this microphone, right? And let's put in one of the new ones, and then it's a pellet. Now it's on green. Why is it on green? All right, and so thank you. So the now let's get the cases. Hopefully, those ones don't even work. Okay, if I give up, I'll give up. These are our old ones. These are the old ones. Okay, I'll continue. I'm sorry. Basically, essential. That's the Gedarim Shkech. Good. Okay. Neis Chanukah, no? Neis Chanukah? No, Neis Chanukah. It's not yet Chanukah. Okay. If I give up, I give up. There's no other batteries? Oh, wait, in the back there's batteries. Those are new. They're in a box. In a box. Yeah. Look at that. Here, you take her. Thanks a lot. Okay, I'll continue. Essentials and non-essentials. Verstehst? Essentials and non-essential. When something is an essential part of the kli, so that's when we make the gzeira of Sif Tazayin. When something is a non-essential, so then we say it's kli agav aviyam. I'll give you examples to bring out the point, and then Mr. Shem will down all the cases. For example, an armchair that's missing an arm. You're missing two arms, right? So where would you put that? Where'd you put that? To say it's nishper, the kli is totally, you can't say it's sivav. It's a totally usable kli mamash, right? You're going to say it's sivches. Sivches makes a lot of sense. It's a totally usable kli, legamre. And the kli is kayim, the ikr kli is kayim. And is it an essential, could we put it into sif tazayin? Is it an essential part of the kli that without it, the kli is a shasat chak? Well, half the chairs, you guys don't have arms, right? Your chair doesn't have, but everybody else doesn't have an arm. Yeah, everybody else's chair doesn't have an arm. So that's an example of a non-essential, it's a good word, non-essential part of the kli. If an essential part of the kli gets broken, so then that's going to be considered. Like, for example, in this microphone, right? So the piece, there's the Energizer bunnies over there. No? And they're no good? Good? What do you say? Good? Keep going and going, like the medrash. Okay, so now, if I Rabbi Feltzi, thank you. You gave me so much pleasure just now. Okay, good. Now it's good. Now we're relaxed. Okay, now we can have much more fun. Some people need a cigarette. I have a microphone. It says, a non-essential part. So an arm. We all agree. Where are you going to put it? Now you know everything. Rabbi said, now we're all equal. Now we can just have fun. Where are you going to put? That's it. That's the end of the second. And there's another thing here. The place can say, if you used it on Erev Shabbos, so then you're showing us that you're not sehitzt. You're showing us you're not nervous. If you used on Erev Shabbos this table on the chair, Yeshiva Shemais, I don't know everything bad's Yeshivish, but that's what we say, right? Yeshiva Shemais, you take the table, you put it on the chair, and you used it like that. So you already showed me that I am not sehitzt. I'm not nervous. That's rule number 2 that you need to know. If you used it like that on Erev Shabbos. Rule number 3, what's the ganze gzeira, Rabbi Isai? No, what's the gzeira? The gzeira is I'm going to what? I'm going to come to fix her. So what? Says the Taz, if it's something that's unfixable, it's cracked. It's cracked. A piece of the wood cracks, okay? You have a table and the piece of wood cracks in half. Let's say the table with the leg, that's the case of the Ramah, and it cracks in half. So what are you going to do? You're going to come to fix it? It's not shaykh for you to fix it. You have to go and take it to an umin. You have to do a proper job. So because high governor, now we don't have the gzeira of tazayin. Now we just have to go and don. Is it a broken kli? Or maybe I could say the ikr kli is kayim. So like, for example, a broken leg, I think that's a good example. the leg cracked in half. Okay, then there's nothing you could do about that. So it's not into Zion. Now you want to know, what is it? So let's see. I could simply put it onto another table and lean it over there and use it. It's a very usable thing. So then it's not going to be muksa. Okay, probably the leg is muksa, right? Because she's not going back. That leg is cracked off, so she's not going back. So you can't say she's going with the schaber, but the actual table won't be muksa. Now we're all equal. Everyone understands everything. Rabbi Bergman, klar, nish klar. Yeah, klar. That's the ideas over here. Now, sorry. I'm not sure even if he's an uman. You have to say, even if he's an uman, I'm not sure what he's going to do a zam maisa and forget himself. Could be chazal weren't geyser by an uman. Sorry? Yeah, that'll be a good example. We'll have to see. What if he doesn't have tools? I'm going to get the cases, and I can bring that story up. Give me one moment. That's a very important thing. So again, the site is essentials, non-essentials. What you remember for the rest of your life. Is it an essential chelik of the kli, or is it a non-essential chelik of the kli? Berega, it's a non-essential chelik of the kli. We're in business. If it's an essential chelik of the kli, we have to don. Is it something that I have to be geyser shemi yitaka? I'm afraid he's actually going to put it back together again, or is it something that requires an uman? Okay, and then if it actually requires no woman and he could go, and so then we have a problem. Okay. Now, for example, the back of a chair, the backrest of a chair, right? There's an armrest and there's the backrest. Is that my right? It's a good name. The backrest. Yeah. So what do you think? The backrest fell off. You know, sometimes it pops out, right? My father has a furniture said these things don't happen with us. You know, but there's some bad furniture people, and it pops out. You know, the what's it called? So but it depends on the chair. I would have thought it's a non-essential. I would have thought. Now I know, right? No, I know that you're all what? Why would I buy? You have to differentiate between the chefza of the kli and the reason you bought it. You're all hooked up. You're all caught on the fact that if I bought a chair with a back, right, and I might lean back and die, right? That's what you're all nervous about. So, but that's not the chefza of the chair. The chefza of the chair is to sit. Does the chefza. There's an essential chelik of the kli. I'm saying this very aggressively because I saw one sefer that made terrible mistake. You have to differentiate between a chefza that is usable and not used. Is a chair without a back usable? Of course it's usable. Is it usable to be used for its original function? Of course it's usable for its original function. Elamai, there are other things you can't do with this chair now. Of course, just like I can't, if I take my arm and I put it like this, what's going to happen? It's going to fall, right? And also if I lean back like this, what's going to happen? Layehudim. But that doesn't mean that it's an essential chelik of the kli mitzad the cheft of the kli. You have to dan with a locha dikaigen, Rabbi said. Sorry? The nusach I'm changing to make it, they were building the nusach. The nusach is essential chelik of the kli. That's it. Sorry? Wait, Rabbi Gottman. You have to look at what the case is that we know the Isser comes from. The case that we know the Isser came from is, we don't have more than that, is a case of a table without a leg. Okay? And the other extremity, a table without a leg, that's the problem. That's the troublemaker. And then the other extremity is a night table that's missing its door. Now we have to figure out everything in between, right? But if you want to know, where am I going to put a chair that doesn't have an arm? We all know. Where am I going to put a chair that doesn't have a back? I'm not going to say that such a thing is considered an essential chelik of the kli. Avada, you could sit. There's no shaila in the world. Avada, you're going to put it just like not having a door. It's also like Avada. It's not the same kli anymore. I bought it because it has a door. But the Afal Pikein, that's my version. I bought it because it has a back. The marshal. Let's hear some of the examples first. The marshal. Let's say the seat. The seat comes out. Yeah. So where are we going to put that? It's pretty essential, right? No. The question is, can I put the seat back into the actual moishev, the actual seat part, right? Came out. This happens, the cushion loch, right? So it comes out. So now is that, you could down something else, I just realized. What if it's the wood is there, but the cushion came off? It's still the clay, it's not an essential part of the clay. Yeah, it's not geschmack, right? We all like learning. Give me one moment. Slow. I didn't get to anything yet. I'm just trying to make us equal. Slow. I'm going to get to that. If we can put it back on Shabbos. We all like learning in the Sephardi shul, if I say. Ganz fine. We all like learning in the Sephardi shul. Much more than we learning the Ashkenazi with those big green plush, pillow loch and everything, right? But it's not the essential chelik. But let's say the whole moishev is gone, not just the cushion, the ganze adorn. So now you want to know, can I take the cushion and put it back? Or forget putting it back. Wait, we're not donning that yet. I'm sorry. We're donning ishi muksa. That's the first question. Can I move her? So the answer is no, right? Because if you have the actual cushion, there you are, you're sitting and you realize it's wobbly and it comes off. You realize it wasn't attached or this, that, or whatever, it comes off. Now you want to know? Everybody here is muksa. The chair is muksa. The actual cushion lach is muksa. Everybody's muksa. Why? Because I'm afraid you're going to put her back together. All it is a couple of nails. That's not already my example of umin was something that was cracked. We'll get to your question in a moment. But that's the idea. Now, Rabbi Amoyel is asking, am I allowed to actually put it into its place? That's a different problem. There's an Isser, which when we learn Bayin, and Shabru is quick to remind us about that. He says, you're not even allowed to put something in roughly. You're not allowed to put something in its place in a loose connection. That's a new Isser, which is patterned after this Isser. You're never allowed to put something in roughly, in a weak oifen. Gzeira, Shema, you might come to screw it in. So we have two issues over here. Even if it wouldn't be muksa, for whatever reason, I'm not going to, if it's not muksa, let's say the arm, let's say that arm that we spoke about before, you have the arm from the armrest falls off. So you could, let's say, you could put it in, it just won't be screwed in. You're not allowed to do that, even though I just told you she's not muksa. Why is she not muksa? Because we said the chair is fine. So therefore she's agav aviem, and it's a usable chair. So we don't make the gzeira shemitaka. So, but then you'll think, so fine. So could I take that arm and I could put it into the chair and just leave it over there? I just won't screw it in. That's us. Because that's a mitzvah Shem will learn by him. Shabru is quick to remind us. Because there's an Isser, you're going to come to screw it in. Okay? They made two Isurim, you're going to come to screw it in. One is that even if it's not muksa and you actually put it into its positioning, that's much more aggressive. We're so scared you're putting it in. So you're going to come to do it tight. So you can't even do it loose. Now we're going to learn. Mr. Shem, it's a whole sugya. But then there's another thing. If I'm afraid that this item breaks on Shabbos, I'm not even letting you move it around. If it's an essential chelik of the kli, and then you're going to be annoyed by using it, I'm not even letting you moving it around because then there's a gzeira shemitah. Is everybody clear on that? That's very important. Is it clear? I'll say it again. Is it clear? No, it's clear. No, but that's very important. That's very important. So that means that even if I'll have cases where I'm going to let you move around the item, the backrest, I'm going to let you. So you say, great. So I'll put it in. I'll put it into its, its moishev. I'll put it into its thing. I just won't screw it in. That's the problem. You can't even put her in rough way because you'll come to put it in taka. You want to know, can I stop move it around? I can stop move it around. You want to know, can I stop lean it over here on the chair? I could lean it on the chair because you didn't putting it in, right? I'm not afraid that if you lean it, you'll go and put it in and then you'll screw it in. That we didn't say. Is that crystal clear by saying? Is that why I make that clear? Okay. Now let's get to a few things here. Let's see. Sorry? I prefer to go into my examples first. I'll answer yours after. But I want to go to my examples first. I didn't get to, yeah. Yeah. So then again, so that we said, if you have something that you used it like that on Erev Shabbos, sorry? Again, if you used it on Erev Shabbos, so then we say that Bekai Govna, so Chazal weren't geyser in such a case, they didn't make a Gzeira Shema Yitaka, because we're not afraid he's going to do it, because he's proven to us that on Erev Shabbos, I already placed I already use it like this. So then she's not muksa. She's not muksa. But that's not going to be kaveya for things that I have not done that yet. Because most people, when things break, they want to fix them. Elamai, you'll show me. Sometimes people don't. Doesn't matter. If he showed us in this item that he doesn't intend on fixing it, so then we make a gzeira. Did I answer your question? Yeah? Sorry? Sorry? No, when you say cushion, you mean and there's still a seat? I don't know which case we're in anymore. It's essential or non-essential? It's essential. So there's nothing there. It's just the actual seat. Yeah, so what's the question? Yeah. It won't. It's a very good question. He says, what if you see, let's say it's like a dira, and like all the chairs, and that's the whole chair. The stomach doesn't work like that. You have to prove within this chair. With this chair. The stomach, it's like plugs. That's how Chazal, anyways, we're going to these things. The stomach's like, there's a good kasha. What do you mean? I've proven I don't fix things. Right? Total Igor. I don't fix anything. Yeah? So that's the stomach. The stomach's got to be within this chefza. Now watch. So I have a few examples here. Again, we're not yet done. Don't worry. Nobody should get nervous yet. The wheel carriage. Sorry? Yeah, let's hold off. Just hold off 1 second, Charles. Right? Just 1 second. It's not good. Because when we're equal, then we can all ask questions. Because then No, it's up to you. What do you guys want? No, it's also a hard day with the microphone. No. The wheel carriage. The wheel carriage is a good example. I don't know. The reason I told you that story, I don't tell stories, right? And so why did I tell you that story with the whole wheel carriage? I never tell myself, right? I saw today from Yisrael Yankiv Fisher. Who knows where did Yisrael Yankiv Fisher live? Mei Sharm, right? Where? Zichron? Right over there, Mamish, right there, right? Sorry? Yeah, but like Mamish, like Zichron Moshe. Mamish, he was like a part of the. Sorry? Yeah, Zichron Moshe. No, Mamish, he was like a part of the he was a part of the Metzias of that neighborhood, you know. Is it Mamish? And so that's why it's very important. So I saw today someone asked Zichron Moshe. Someone asked Yisrael Yankiv Fisher. He asked him, "No, what's the way this story came? It's interesting. Maisa. I paskin in a certain seminary that all the girls don't have to lie. I paskin that it's enough that life for menorah for Hanukkah. I paskin it's enough that I know I just jumped. I'll just tell you where the story came from. I paskin it's enough that the girls are mishtatif. They get together and they should mishtatif. So somebody else told me that the other seminaries and they said not like this. There's other seminaries, they said not like this. That the other Rabbeim and the other halacha Rabbeim, they said not like this. So, okay, I know that's sad that every girl should light on their own. Doesn't make sense. There's a reason why. There is a reason. It's not Shani. Oh, she's not working again. I think I'll give up. But no, she's not. It's a good story. It's what? Is it my? Okay, so I'll do. Okay. Hello? No, definitely not. No. Okay. So, what? It's coming in. Try one more time. Hello? Okay. It's just the banger a little bit. Oh, you mean it's the microphone? That's the issue. Anti-Semite. Okay. It's Azay. I didn't chap it's her. What the is to be different. Now she's hacked it. Listen to me. So I heard there's other Rabbeim and other seminary that they seem to say not like me, right? They seem not to say not like. Okay, I give up. The other Rabbeim and other seminaries, they say not like me, and they say that that all the girls should lie. All the girls should lie. So, Maisa, I can hear it because they're not in the home country, and they're not Yaitse with their fathers. I hear it. The only thing is that I made a cheshbon. I made this cheshbon years ago. That there's about 5 reasons why the girls don't have light. Number one is it's very possible they are Yaitse with their fathers, even though it's a different time zone. But the girl, who's paying for the seminary? Who's paying for the seminary, right? Who's paying for the seminary? God, because nobody can afford it, right? So who's paying for the seminary? Somebody. So Tate Heis doch God, yeah? So the father is paying for the seminary. So she's saying Michal Shulchanai. She's saying Michal Shulchanai. Okay. Now that's why there might be a difference between a Shiva Bacher and a seminary goes to Shiva. So I'm telling you that this is not our sugya. I'm just telling you the difference. I know that's Stadim, why yes? I'm just telling you that's Stadim, why not? It's not even Shiloh. Svardim is not even Shiloh. Svardim all hold like this. What? No, Sephardi girls. Sephardi girls all about this. Right? Your brother's a Sephardi girl? First time he's like it. Slow. So Sephardi girls are for sure no Shiloh. They're still connected to their houses. Ashkenazi girls, right? So especially in the olden days, every Monday and Thursday they were flying back, right? So that's, they were now third of all the Saimach al Shulchanam, who's paying for this, the father. So what's the nafkamina? Just like you understand, if the girl goes away for a day when she lives in her house in America and she goes away, she's yaitze with her father. This is bara because she's still Saimach al Shulchanam. She still has her father's house. So what's the difference if she went across the country, across the world? So you'll say the time zone. You look in the sugya. Zman wasn't misspelled from the time zone. Shaila, you're a part of the household. You're yaitze with the household. There's the din in the household. Okay, but that's all chidushim. That's all chidushim. So then I always said, look. There's a shaila in the Mishnah Berurah. If you have 2 people that live together, I don't know why I'm telling you this. Why am I telling you this? Sorry, Yankiv Fisher. I don't know why I'm telling you this. Right? So there's a why am I telling you this? You want to hear it or not? This is Baltaisiv. This is something, yes, I'm not sure why. There's an affair going on right now, but I'm not sure which one. But anyways, why in the world am I telling you this? Is like huh? It is okay? No, it's the anti-Semite. It's all her fault. But so it gets her. So there's a shaila, if two balabatim come together in a dira, they live together, separate portions, they don't eat together, whatever. Two balabatim, two bachrim that live in a dira that aren't connected together. I don't mean bachrim mitzad, yeshiva bachrim. I mean two people that live together in a dira. Are they allowed to be mishtatif? Is it enough that one lights and they're mishtatif? Mishabura brings on this, the Bialacha brings on this, and machlekes, the Vish and the Pri Chadash and the Levush, it brings a big machlekes. Okay, the Mishabura is night at the end that one of them could light and the other one is yaitse. Okay, so now let's go back to our seminary. So let's say, first of all, maybe she's yaitse with the tati bear. Okay, Elamai, maybe she's not yaitse with the tati bear, which I hear. Okay, now, but one of the girls is lighting and she'll be mishtatif. They'll buy the oil on her behalf or whatever. So one of the girls will be mishtatif. Right? The different girl will be mishtat. So first of all, maybe she's yaitse with tati bear, and even if not, maybe the Pri Chadash we don't hold like the Mishabura's mashma, and we go with the Levush, which is not the Levush, it's also Rishonim, and they say two people, one house is already like a it's already Rishonim that say this. Two people, one house, two balabatim. As long as there's one light, and you're bought your way in your father's house, you don't need to buy your way in. You're considered a part of the household. Here, if you buy your way in, so maybe what? Maybe she could be mishtatif. Okay, number 3. Maybe yeshiva is different. Rabbi Yashiv said yeshiva a seminary is different anyways. Maybe there, everyone will agree that you don't even need to be mishtatif. And maybe mishtatif will work, and even the Pri Chadash will agree. You know why? Because they all eat together. So maybe they're one big happy family. Walk into these seminaries, it says the Benais Schnitzel, one big happy family, one big happy Schnitzel, or whatever, right? They're all one big happy family. So now, first of all, maybe she's yaitse with the tati bear. Second of all, maybe she could be mishtatif. Third of all, maybe everyone holds she could be mishtatif. Fourth of all, maybe she doesn't need to be mishtatif because it's all part of that. So as a vite, and the minig is ladies don't light. So I used to, I'm saying till this year, I always said in all the seminaries that it's enough that a lady should, be mishtatif. They should have a few menorahs going, and they should have, a couple of mommy bears. There's always girls that light anyways, there's lighting bears. There's always like that, right? So she'll be the bear that lights, and somebody else will be mishtatif and does egetas. Yeah, that's like, that's what I said. But then I heard that other seminaries, this isn't the psak in other seminaries, right? I don't know, should I change? I don't know. So I looked around, and I saw that they asked Rabbi Yankiv Fisher. So they said, should ladies in seminary, should they light? So Rabbi Yankiv Fisher said, no, ladies don't light. They should hear the bracha from someone else. That doesn't. So I looked in that sefer. And once I had that sefer open, it was a sefer about interesting psakim, was halichos. And you saw like a lot of different anhagas from the Yisrael Yaakov Fisher. So I looked up in our stuff, the Gabi books. Now again, ich zug nicht. It's avada if she does light, if each girl, but if some people they have anhaga that ladies bedafka don't light, like some sefer bedafka was makbid, a lot of ladies bedafka don't light. So I don't know. I'm surprised that this is the psak in other seminaries, but listen, each seminary should follow whoever the rav in that seminary is, mistama. But that's the. So, anyways, so I'm looking in the sefer. This is why we're here. I'm looking in the sefer, and I look over there by Hilchas Muksa. I'm looking. He has a bunch of interesting things there in Hilchas Muksa also. So I went mamish in our sif, such a merdik ashkacha pratis. Over there, he talks about a baby carriage, and he says a baby carriage with 3 wheels. He says that's not Siftas Zion. There's those Shemi Yitaka because it's not usable only b'shas atchak. The essential ikar kli is kayim. You have enough wheels to get it moving. You have the actual seat over there. I'm reading this. I'm like, and then it came to me at that site that I saw all those days when we were learning in Meir Shudim over there. Of that guy walking with the 3-legged stumble. He's Mr. Neinikol for Sel Yaakov. So I don't know if that's true for the rest of the world. I don't know if that's true. What? No, that's everything, and everyone will take a table. That's the Gans Gzeira. The whole Gzeira is Shemi Yitaka, that if an essential chelik of the Kli has fallen off, so then we're afraid you're going to try to put it back together. I think so far, I remember a few years ago, this is years and years ago, I lived in Matas. Someone knocked on my door, I had a shiloh. What was a shiloh? The baby carriage was there, and the wheel didn't fall off. Now again, don't forget, I'm not talking about putting the wheel there. That's usher anyways, because Gzeira. Now sometimes it can crack. If it can crack, we could talk. Because if it can crack, so then we said you need an uman to fix it. If it cracks off, then there's all different shmuz around. You need a numen to fix it, so then we don't have our gzera, shemitaka. So once it's usable, maybe, and maybe even if it's shatzat usable, but that would be enough for us. It's only because we're afraid you're going to try to stuff the wheel back in. But I remember a few years ago, someone knocked on my door. Years ago, like 9 years ago. And someone knocked on my door. The baby carriages were downstairs, and the rubber fell off the wheel. The rubber fell off the wheel. What? No, so, but the wheel's there, but the rubber fell off. Yeah, interesting, Shaila? Interesting, Shaila? What? Sorry? So the story, the person went, he knocked on Rav Scheinberg's door, right? So Rav Scheinberg said that he wants to think about it. So he told him to ask me. Not because he yelled at me, because I used to talk to him a lot. So he told him to ask me. So I went right to his house. What are you doing to me? What are you doing to me? What do you hold? What do you hold? So he said, no. He's not asking me because he's like, don't get excited. He doesn't know from like how the baby carriages work. So I'm like a fix-it man. I knew for baby carriages. So I told him, no. So then we had to call my wife, because she knows even better. So mamish, So she said that it's going to kill the wheel. It's going to mamish kill the wheel. If you drive home on it, it'll kill the wheel. So it's a wheel shatzat chak. What do you think? It's going to mamish kill the wheel. So Scheinberg said, if it's going to mamish kill the wheel, then it's a big shatzat chak. So then it's essential part of the kli. So then he said it's a problem. It's a shamitaka. It's a problem of tiltil, because you'll come to fix it, because you're not going to want to use it like that, because it's going to kill the, murder. No? What do you say? What? Sure, the rubber, when you put it back on, that's asim in Torah. You have caps. When you have caps that go into a chair, on the bottom of the chair, sometimes you have caps, and the ones that go in tight and stark, that's takua mamish. That's what? What? I don't understand what he's asking. What? When you're going to take the rubber and you put the rubber, you push the rubber back on, it's so tight. You're like, well, what? Why is he right? What? No. The question was it muksa? No. Again. We have two sugyas. You got to keep this in mind. You have two sugyas over here. This one sugya is if the item fell off, is she muksa? Question number one. When is it muksa? If I'm going to be maybe potentially so annoyed by using this item, so then I'm going to come to go and put the other part of the item on. That's not one question, is she muksa? Then there's another shayla. You're never even allowed to put, even when it's not muksa, you're not allowed to put it roughly, because you'll come to do it hiddik, you'll come to do it boifin baina, you'll come to do it boifin back. But you must remember that. It gets confusing. It's clear? I answered you or no? Yeah? What? Oh, so kipshuta, both are muksa. Kipshuta, both are muksa. Even the gzeir of shamitaka, both are muksa. I'm going to tell you a chiddush. I tell you a chiddush. It was a tough day with the microphone stories and everything. Should I tell you a chiddush? So the shah is, what do you do? Now there's a bunch of cases I didn't get to yet. I'll just tell you 2 or 3 cases, then I get to a chiddush. By us once, the atzei chayim, the wood broke off. The guy was doing hag, got the shock of his life. Right? It's the lightest Sefer Torah I ever held, He went like that, like mamish, he almost fell on the floor. But the piece fell off. How the piece is mechuber? It's really just a verstupta. It's not like, it depends. I mean, each one might be different. What? The rod, it didn't crack. The piece, I don't know, all atichaims and whatever. This was also, this one saw the Maral Diskin, don't forget, when the Maral Diskin was bar mitzvah. You know what I'm saying? This is, So the piece came out. The piece of the wood, the handle came out. So he was holding it in his hand. He didn't know what to do like this. He was holding it there. Right. So I just told him put it down. He dropped it, which he shouldn't have done. He should have put it on the bima. Yeah, it's a part of a kedusha also. It's whatnot. So wait, let's don for a second. You have to don very fast. There's a piece of atzei chayim on the floor. Shem shemayim, right? So I told him quickly pick it up. Right. So he quickly picked it up. So what's the halacha? Well, now you know the halacha. But why are you allowed to pick it up? Let's see. Is that an essential part of the kli? Right? No. Rabbi say, I'm a from Yid. I believe in Sefer Torah and the Kedusha, and you have to kiss it. Right? But it's not the ikar essential chalik of the Sefer Torah is the Sefer Torah. Is the Sefer Torah. That is a non-essential part of the Kli. I'll prove it to you. The Sephardim don't even know what I'm talking about. What's an Atei Chaim? What fell off? The silver case, the crown? What fell off? They don't even know what I'm talking about. Okay. Ich meine, gerade wegen der Sache. Der Sache. No, das ist Rabbi say. Das is a non-essential chelik of the Kli. As Melavi does. So where's the Rabbi say? Wait. Order in the court. Wait. So you have to improvise. What? No. But the function of a Sefer Torah is not to carry babies, right? Or it's not to be carried around. What? You should be arrested. The function of a Sefer Torah is to lane out of the Sefer Torah, right? But so wait. What? You can lane without the Atei Chaim. These guys don't even know. How do you what? You're gonna store the baby. You know what? I'm gonna take your baby and let's see if it's right what you just said. You can store the baby. You store the baby in a three-legged carriage? No. As a Sefer Torah that's missing its leg, you could lane out of her, right? You're just gonna have a problem doing Hagbah on her. What? You'll figure it out. Take your talis and open him with the talis. No? What do these guys do? They have scarves and turbans and everything. That's how they do it. What do you want from me? What? It's like Gilgulim of Versal Yanke Fisher. You can easy, very normal. You know where the Kallus was in your yeshiva over there and what you saw in the last few years, right? What's normal? Remember, you're in public, but what?
Same way, this is not normal. That's not normal. Same way.
Rabbi say, when you're dining on the, Rabbi Shvei, take care. Rabbi Shvei, deal with it. When you're okay. When you, Rabbi say, the microphone has only one function now. Okay. When you're dining on a kli, when you're dining on a kli, you have to don what's the ikar tachlis of that kli. Okay? Yeah. When you're dining on a kli, you have to don what's the ikar tachlis of a Sefer Torah. What's the reason why you pay $50,000-$70,000 for Sefer Torah? You pay it because of the helik avert of the Sefer Torah. So that's an essential is the Torah. The non-essential, Rabbi say, the non-essential thus is the Atei Chaim. Now she's on her way back. So then now it's Agav Aviyam. Now you get involved in our whole Agav Aviyam story. So I didn't even think, because I know there's enough svaras to be makel. Number one is that for sure she's going back, okay? Number two is that do I need a numen? I don't need a numen. No. But when you're dealing with a Sefer Torah and an Atei Chaim on the floor and whatever, it could be you do need a numen to get it back in. They probably took it to a numen. But the kapanim, like we said, that's not muchach b'chlal that the Mishabura held like that. That's another svar. All the svars that we spoke about, it's roy for shimash. It is. You could and put it back in, which is not going to let you do it on Shabbos. But you cannot, even though I was makel to pick up that Atei Chaim, that piece of the Atei Chaim, you certainly can't go and put it back in because we're afraid that once you're going to put it back in. Now, it could be that it's so broken that when you're going to put it back in, it's not going to have any tayalis and it won't. The roughly can't turn into it. Okay, that's complicated. That's the sugya b'inah, which we're going to learn here. We're going to learn when we learn b'inah mitzvah. But what happens? A tough day at the office. Where are we holding here? Oh my goodness, we didn't do anything today. Okay, well, what? It's the microphone. No. All right. What? All right. Wait. So what? Who knows? Who knows what time is mincha tomorrow? 2:15. Who knows what time the shir is? 2:30. Tomorrow there's donuts already, right? There's no games. Tomorrow's donuts, right? No tachanun. We're moving weiter. I'm coming upstairs today. Everybody say. Schlissel thought you're in big trouble with me. That's all your fault. I don't think I don't come. What? Wait, there were two. There were two in the office. Let's try the other one. Wait, let me just turn this off.